Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Factorio with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to my little accumulator factory. In today's episode, we are going to be building the newest of our staple items, the plastic bar. So the plastic bars are very important at the moment, as we are now moving into some of the more advanced buildings, things like the advanced circuit, and of course the glorious electric furnace will require plastic, because the advanced circuit is needed for the electric furnace and the advanced circuit requires plastic. Probably the most roundabout way to explain that, and as such we are going to need a lot of plastic bars. On top of this, there are a lot more recipes which will be using plastic down the line, so I do want plastic on the main line over here. Also, how many times have I said plastic in the last 2 minutes? Anyway, we have coal over here, we have some glorious petroleum gas. I think it only makes sense if we make the plastic around about here, and then put it onto the line here, and connect it over here, thus making it all nice and neat, and thus making it a lot easier for the future. I will then be rushing into making advanced circuits automatically as soon as possible, because once again we are going to need these a lot, and they are a pain in the bum to actually make in your inventory, and I want lots of them because I want lots of electric furnaces. I also need way more stone bricks, but the only stone really available to us isn't exactly nearby, and it's a little bit heavily protected. In fact, now I'm looking at it, yep, that's stone, that's iron, so we may have to invade some territory in the not so distant future, but for now, let's get about doing the more simple thing, which is making plastic. You'd think it wouldn't be very simple, but apparently it is. So for now, let's see what we've already got in our inventory. I have 6 chemical plants, so I'm going to use all of them. And here's the question, do I put it on this side or this side? Putting it on this side makes a lot more sense, but at the same time, I would like it to move to here in terms of the transport belt. So perhaps putting it over here would make more sense, because then I could have a long inserter just putting it onto a belt right next to it, and it would look nice and simple. All we're having to do is getting this over the transport belt, which isn't exactly difficult. So okay, we'll be putting it this side then, like this. Pretty simple, and then let's just put some piping here so we know where it is. Now, we could be doing this a little bit better by using the underground piping, and I am guilty of using the regular piping quite a bit. I could definitely use the underground piping way more than I currently do, but honestly, I just love the look of that. It looks so much more, I don't know, factory-like. I hate having things underground everywhere. I prefer seeing where all the pipes are. It's something which will definitely be an issue in the future, but for now I'm just going to stick with it because I like seeing the pipes. So we'll be going with that. Put that there, and that's not going to work very well now, is it? So instead, let's move this one closer. No one will ever know, and carry on like this. We are currently under attack on the south, but because of our massive electricity backlog at the moment, because of all of the accumulators, god, that is a word which is so difficult for me to say, we don't really have to worry about our lasers ever running out of energy, because we just have so much stored. We have solar panels, we have way more steam power, everything is looking pretty decent, honestly. So I've already set this up, haven't I? Yes, I have, so all we have to do is this. And do I actually have any underground belts? Yes, I do, and by belts, of course, I mean pipes. Belts, pipes, same thing if you don't know what either of them are. Like this. And then we'll just connect this like... Oh, okay, we'll make it one further forward so it looks a bit better, and we'll make some more pipes as well. Nice and simple. I like it when it's this simple, because I can be all inefficient and just make this really easily, and it's not really a huge issue, because it's just 2 materials to make it, and it makes 2 per time, so it's really not too difficult to set up, which is lovely. I do like that. Simplicity is gorgeous in this game when it actually happens. Though, perhaps if I'm looking for simplicity, I might be playing the wrong game. There we are. as I've seen some of the really good players of this game make some really elaborate machinery, everything all connects perfectly, the ratios just work correctly, and it just hurts my head, honestly, and I'm never going to be that person, because I don't know, it kind of takes away the fun when it gets that complex. I do understand trying to make things as efficient as possible, but at the same time, I don't want to make it so complex that I have to look up a guide for every last thing I'm doing. That's when it gets a bit boring for me. Shall we have one or two? Because of course we can't use the fast inserters, because I've elected to be a dum-dum and use this pipe, because I prefer the looks of it. Yep, aesthetics over functionality here. Normally not my kind of style, normally I'll go for the block approach. Okay, because I'm doing this as well, I'm going to have to move this one further back. I didn't think about that until just now. So let's just grab all these and quickly put it in the right place. There we are, all nicely set up. We are now producing a lot of plastic. So much I'm even having to use the fast transport belt just to make sure it doesn't get clogged up too quickly. And in a second, I'll even make my first ever fast splitter to make this section a little bit quicker as well. Either way, that is a lot of plastic, and I've decided rather than going up and along, we're going to segment this oil section so it will forever only be used for the oil refineries. All nice and neat, all nice and, what's the word I'm looking for here? Modular, I suppose, would be the word I'm looking for, or something similar to that. So once that's on the line, let's plan out our next bit. So what do we want next? We want the advanced circuits, which require electronic circuits, plastic bars, and copper cables. Electronic circuits, of course, are just copper cables and iron, so that's actually not too difficult, honestly, and we can start automatically making those, and for now, we'll just start putting them into steel chests, or something similar to that, until we need to automate something, because as much as I do want the electric furnaces, we don't need to really automate the production of them, since they are a lot bigger than the regular furnaces. Although they do smelt twice as quickly, I believe. Stone furnace, crafting speed 1, steel furnace, crafting speed 2, and electric furnace, crafting speed 2 as well. Yeah, so it's double the speed, but 4 times the size, I believe. It's 2 by 2, and the stone furnace is 1 by 1, I think. Also known as just 1. And once this hits here, I guess I'll just put it onto the regular transport belts. The fast transport belts are amazingly expensive. I didn't realise just how bad these were. 11.5 for only one transport belt, whereas the normal transport belts is 3 for 2. That is really expensive, although they are a lot faster, so it does make sense. It is a bit of a you pay for what you get kind of issue. Replace this, and I'll be right back once all that is sorted out. And we can start production of the red circuits, the advanced circuits. Oh, which are actually needed for Science Pack 3s. Oh, there we are, so we do need to automate the advanced circuits. Hurrah for that. We need steel, advanced circuits, and smart inserters. How does one produce a smart inserter? You need a fast inserter and electronic circuits. Oh, wow, this is going to be a really complex segment, which I believe this entire area here will be taken up for. But once we have blue science, we have blue science. And we can actually continue to research stuff, which I may have forgot to do this entire episode so far. A bit of an aside, but I think I've decided what I'm going to be doing with the light oil and heavy oil, at least for the time being. We're going to start making some flamethrower ammo, because that's just really, really cool. Now, if memory serves me correctly, however, I'm fairly certain the flamethrower is a little bit underwhelming. I may be incorrect. In fact, I very much hope I'm incorrect, but I'm almost certain the last time I used it, I wasn't too happy with it, although that was just before I actually finished the series, so my mind is a little bit hazy about that. Really, really hoping I'm wrong there. Do I really need more than one chemical plant? I mean, do we need to produce it quickly? I really don't think so, so let's just go with one chemical plant as soon as I'm done with making the other laser turrets. I am so tempted to start automating this, but I just don't need enough of them at the time being. Perhaps in the future when I have more oil so I can make more batteries, I will start making the laser turrets automatically. In fact, we could turn off batteries right now. We do have a lot currently stored. And we don't have a limiter. Oh dear, I thought we had a limiter, but we don't. There we are. So that will be finished off soon. In fact, if I just quickly do this... There we go. No more batteries unless they're used. That should save us a little bit of petroleum gas. Oh dear lord, where did you guys come from? Hello, friends. I even put a turret down here. Oh, you just crushed that turret in seconds, didn't you? I put one down there. That is the reason why I was making more right now, because I only had enough left for one more turret. So apparently, we're going to need a bit more down here. Oh dear. So let's make a quick corner just to protect this. I don't know why I want this double thick, but I just kind of do. That actually looks really nice. I definitely prefer 2 rather than just 1. It looks far cleaner. Okay, so I'll put this down, then I'll go and start making some flamethrower ammo. Oh, look at that hive right there. No wonder we're under attack so much. I need to start making some more solar panels so desperately. And so, at last, we now have the regular inserters. So we are slowly getting there. Admittedly, we still have a very long way to go, because this is only the first part of the very long trek all the way down to blue science. Like I said before, at the moment, I'm just throwing everything together. Once I understand this whole setup a little bit more, then I'll try and balance it and get the right amount of assembly machines for each section. But right now, I just need it all up and running so we can start doing blue science and start focusing on some more fun things, like getting the car up and running and testing out the flamethrower, which, let's face it, is one of the most fun things you can possibly create in most games. So now we have the regular inserter, we now need the fast inserter, which thankfully actually isn't too difficult, and by the looks of things, we could very likely just steal from this, for now. That would make things a lot more simple for me, it must be said, if we took some of the green here. Actually, we could do it even easier by just literally stealing from here like this. So half of it then goes on to the next segment, then that way there's nothing we really need to make. We just need to add them both together and make sure it's there. In fact, we can make it even easier on ourselves. I've just realised how easy we could make this by keeping this here, so it's still got priority. And although for now we will have these iron gears kind of just along for the ride, if we just do this and keep going down, we could have the assembly machines here producing the fast inserters with nothing changed. We have all the ingredients we need, if I'm reading that correct. We have the iron plates, yes, we have the electronic circuits, and we have the inserters. We just happen to also have iron gears here, because reasons. That is actually pretty easy. And I'll just make 2 of these. And move these down as well. Like so. 1 for you. 1 for you. And then same on the other side. And thus we have the fast inserters. Okay, last one. What do we need now? Fast inserter and electronic circuit. Wow, I really should have looked it up more. We just need this. It's just one continuous track. This is so much easier than I thought it was. Which means we're producing nowhere near enough regular, lovely circuits. Oh dear. On the upside, these are pretty easy to expand on, so what we'll have to do is move all of this over here, so we have the assembly machines over here, then just bring more regular assembly machines, making the regular electronic circuits down. Again, I'll do that off camera, because that will require a bit of legwork, which I'm not willing to do on camera. Do I need the... I could just use the regular machines here, but why not just make a couple more of the advanced ones. The assembly machine Mark II. There, and there. Put these out there. And so, after a very clumsy and long process, we are now producing the smart inserters. And the music in the background gets a little bit more glorious as I say that. Very well timed indeed. So now we have the smart inserters. That is easily the most difficult segment now finished. We're already making advanced circuits, so all we need to do now is combine that with batteries and steel plates. The batteries are currently being produced all the way up there, which is a little bit of a nuisance, and we could very easily make it go down here instead. But what do I want to do? Do I actually want to do that, or for now, do I just want to start moving them down to here? That is really clunky, but like I said before, I just want to get it to the stage where it's working today. Then just like with other segments, I'll work on them off camera. So this is one very silly system. However, do I really need more of these? I mean, we're always going to need more accumulators. That is very, very true. But how about if we split the batteries? So no more storing. Did I really just get 800 batteries? Wow, I had a lot of batteries spare. You stay going up, you turn around in the most awkward way possible, thank you. And you will be piped all the way back down here, along with the steel, finally making blue science. Almost all the way there. We're about to start making blue science at long last, and I have one thing I do want to test out before we complete this, and that's, do I need all of the science types in the same lab? I'm really hoping the answer is no, but I've got a sneaking suspicion the answer is yes. But seriously, really hoping the answer is no, because if it isn't, I could start just putting down labs here, and we're pretty much done. The thing in the top right, currently researching, lab efficiency number 3, is something that does require blue science. So once it's made, well, we can very easily test if we can have them in separate labs, because over in the left of the factory there are labs currently fully stocked with both green and red science, which makes that a lot easier. These will go in the middle. So, in theory, if we can have them both on separate labs, if I put one down here with blue science in, it should work. I very much doubt it will work, but it would be very, very nice if it does. So, you can make blue science, so can you, so can you. Of course, I could have just copied and pasted, but I did maybe forget about that. I did done forgot. You. And we're slowly making blue science. I wonder how long it takes to make blue science. Blue science is a 12-second. Okay, so it is fairly slow. Look! Our first blue science! Glorious! So let's just put down a lab, fill it full of blue, and no. I do need them all in a single one. That's not fun. So all I have to do now is pipe the blue science all the way back. But before we even start figuring that out, and yes, I have way too much space here doing absolutely nothing, we've got a problem. We always have a problem. There's always one problem currently going on, because there's always going to be a limiting factor to your factory. There's always going to be something which is slowing everything down. Currently, the limiting factor is the ability to smelt iron. Yes, once again, our iron smelting is our main issue. We're just not getting enough iron into the system, and everything's slowing down. And actually, by the looks of things, copper has slowed down as well, but that's because I've actually mined out some of the areas, so that'll be really easy to fix. Copper still isn't in as much demand as iron, so what I need to start doing then is making electric furnaces and replacing all of these. A very slow and very boring process, but at least it's also fairly easy, because all I have to do is just literally replace them. And maybe dedicate a bit more space to it as well, especially since now I don't need this here. Since this is all going to be replaced with the laser turrets in a second. That doesn't need to be there. This can be raised quite a bit, all the way to the top here, so then we can have 2 lines of this basically going on. Actually, yeah, that's really, really easy. So I'll go ahead and start making those. But since that's a very boring process, and I will be doing that off camera, I'm going to go ahead now and test out the flamethrower, because I really want to. So let's head on over to the right-hand hive over there, which is a bit less scary than one down to the south, and let's go and fight. I really do think this might have been the episode which made a lot of very good Factorio players cry. I am sorry, I am so sorry I didn't figure that out sooner. Oh, looking back on it now, I've already been looking back on the footage. Oh, it's painful. My problem-solving skills during this episode have been not even subpar. The par wasn't even in reach. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Now, admittedly, I am leading them back to the lasers, but can we burn a few? Yeah. Not quite as devastating as I would like. Of course, the area of effect was beautiful, but the lasers definitely did most of the work. I don't think it would take that much effort to actually clear out this hive. There's not as many as I thought there were, so if we just run the power along and make some more electric laser turrets. Of course, we need more iron, because we always need more iron. That wouldn't be too difficult. Anyway, batteries are doing fine. Red circuit's doing fine. The only issue currently is the smart inserters. The main issue for that is the regular circuitry, because go away. That was all wrong down there. And that's because we have no iron currently feeding in. So all of these are currently offline, and of course, like I said, I need more of these. This all needs to be revamped. Oh, there's so much work to do. And with that, we find out the flamethrowers don't work on stone rocks. So thank you so much for watching. Off camera, I've got a lot of work to do. Consider this a learning experience. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Factorio is a series you wish to see continued in the future. At least now we have flamethrowers, and once again, I do apologise, this has been an interesting episode. Oh my lord, look how many are attacking us right now. Whoa, that was a massacre. That drained all of our reserve energy. Well done, laser turrets, though. And with this little field of corpses, once again, thank you. And goodbye. I am the bringer of death.